All right, guys, so the first injury report of Week 3, Packers versus Titans, just came out. So in today's video, we're going to go over the entire injury report, who practiced, who didn't practice, some of the concerns heading into Week 3, as well as take a quick peek at the Tennessee Titans injury report. So if you guys are a new viewer here and want to remain in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers, I'd highly suggest going down, clicking the subscribe button. We do injury reports every single day they come out here on this channel, as well as game live streams, PFF reviews after the game reactions, and other breaking news, such as the news that we heard earlier, which we'll get more into in today's video, that Jordan Love returned to practice. So without further ado, let's bring up the screen. Let's just dive right into it. And it's a little bit of a long injury report for the Green Bay Packers. You know, the first couple of weeks, it wasn't crazy long, and the Packers were seemingly healthy. But they have a lot of players on the injury report here in Week 3, and there's a few concerns, and we'll go down the list. But right off the rip, I mean, you see 5 offensive linemen on here, and all of which have started. I mean, outside of Sean Ryan, every other starter is on this injury report, and that's a massive concern. Not only just looking at Jordan Love and his potential to return in this game, which could happen. What if he does and some of these linemen can't go and we're down to backups and he gets hit again and can re-injure that knee? It's a massive concern. But let's start at the top with Kenny Clark with his toe injury. He was limited. Anyone that's limited today, likely completely fine. I don't see them being. I don't see it being a concern that they end up playing in Tennessee, except for Jordan Love. He was limited today, so that's not a guarantee that he's going to play here in Tennessee. He's taking it day by day, and he'll see where he's at when the game comes up on Sunday. That's what he said in his locker room after this practice. But everyone else on here that's limited today, I have no real concern for. Kenny Clark with the toe injury, kind of a slow start to 2024, if I'm being honest. Kingsley Enagbare, groin injury, limited, has gotten a lot of snaps, had 5 less snaps than Rashawn Gary last week, which is a head-scratcher to me, had more snaps than Preston Smith last week, a head-scratcher to me. So maybe the Packers see a little bit more in JJ Enagbare than I do. Not saying he's a bad player, but to get that many snaps and then not really record a stat with those snaps, it's a little concerning. But overall, the Packers' edge or defensive end room hasn't gotten many pressures, but the Tennessee Titans have allowed the most pressure. And Nicholas Petit-Frere on the right side, the right tackle, has allowed 11 total pressures, and that's exactly where Rashawn Gary lines up. So expect a big day and a breakout day for Rashawn Gary, who's also started the season pretty slow. Josh Jacobs with the back injury, limited, obviously back injury for, carrying the offense on his back there in Week 2 versus the Indianapolis Colts. All jokes aside, I believe this is the same injury he's had for a couple weeks, so likely just on the injury report, but he's completely fine. The Packers do end up, dropping another running back such as Josh Jacobs, and they're really thin. Obviously losing Marshawn Lloyd to IR. Did sign Chris Brooks, who's intriguing, and they also have Emmanuel Wilson, but obviously do not want to see Josh Jacobs on the injury report, but I think he's completely fine. Elton Jenkins, when I saw he did not participate a couple hours ago, I thought it would be that Elton Jenkins coveted veteran rest day on Wednesday, but it's actually an illness/glute injury. This is a big one. I would say, again, this is just speculation, that he did not participate for the illness rather than the glute injury, but tomorrow is going to be a big telltale sign. Elton Jenkins doesn't need to practice to play, and he's had an excellent season so far, and I think he does play here in Week 3, but it's still a concern. Tucker Kraft's shoulder injury, limited today. He's been great. He's been tight end number 1, significantly out-snapping Luke Musgrave through 2 weeks. Jordan Love, this is the big news. I already released a video a little bit ago showing the clips of Jordan Love moving around at practice, and he looks good, guys. I think it was a little bit of an overreaction by some reporters saying 4 to 6 weeks and 4 weeks minimum. MCL injuries are so different, and the severity matters a lot, and we never really got a complete, report on what grade it was. We only had an inkling that it was in between a grade 1 and 2, closer to 1. That was a rumor, and that seemingly seems to be a true rumor because Jordan Love's already back at practice after just 1 missed game, and he looks good. Now, we didn't see full speed, and I doubt he's 100%. And if he goes out there Sunday, he might be wearing a knee brace. Not exactly sure, but quarterbacks can play on injured MCLs. We've seen Aaron Rodgers do it. I've seen other quarterbacks do it. It's a lot easier for them to do than, say, a running back, receiver, defensive back. It just all depends if the Packers medical staff will feel comfortable putting him out there. And then also, if they're missing 2 to 3 offensive line starters, which I don't see happening, I doubt they're going to trot him out there with the potential to get re-injured by any means. Jordan Morgan left the game after 20 snaps with a shoulder injury. He was a did not participate today, so something to monitor. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, I don't see him being ready for this game or being able to play in this game. But Sean Rhyan had a really nice game there in week 2. Josh Myers, ankle injury, limited. I believe it's the same injury he suffered against the Eagles, so no real concern here in my opinion. He was fine to play week 2 other than throwing up on the football, and I think he'll be fine here in week 3. Jaden Reed, calf injury, same injury he got late last week, added to the injury report, but went in this game against the Colts. Only recorded 1 catch for 9 yards, but the Packers barely had to pass the ball. Still has more yards than all the Bears wide receivers, which is laughable. Likely a rest here. I don't think it's a re-aggravation. Again, speculation, but there was no reports that he re-aggravated this late in last game or this was a re-aggravation. I'm sure it's just a rest so he doesn't re-aggravate it, and he'll likely either be limited tomorrow, limited Friday, something of that sort. He'll probably still be questionable for this game just to kind of throw up a little bit of a smoke screen, and Jordan Love will definitely be questionable for this game. Zach Tom, quadricep injury, limited. He's been excellent so far, so hopefully this is nothing huge. Great to see limited here rather than did not participate. Carrington Valentine, ankle injury, did not participate. He out-snapped Eric Stokes last week. I think it was more of a schematic thing, in my opinion, more of a Jeff Hafley wanting to play aggressive press, man-style type of defense against the Colts, and Carrington Valentine more of that style of cornerback over someone like Eric Stokes. But at least we have Eric Stokes. If Carrington Valentine can't go in this game, seeing that he's a did not participate here in Wednesday's practice. Then to wrap things up, Rasheed Walker. Again, there's 5 linemen here, guys. It's not nice. It's not pretty. Like, you don't want to see 4 full-time starting linemen and 1 rotational starting guy on your injury report on Wednesday. You definitely don't. But at least, Rasheed Walker, Zach Tom, the 2 tackles are limited. Elton Jenkins can play without practice. Josh Myers is limited. And, Jordan Morgan, the only other, did not participate. And Sean Rhyan can simply just start at right guard. But Rasheed Walker, shoulder injury, limited. I like I said, I see all these limited players being fine and suiting up in this game. Carrington Valentine, Jaden Reed, Jordan Morgan, and Elton Jenkins. Not so much Elton Jenkins, but, it's a big telltale tomorrow. We'll see what their designations are tomorrow. And then, of course, Friday, they'll have their official designations heading into Sunday. Then to go over the Tennessee Titans injury report, very short compared to the Green Bay Packers, so this will be a quick one considering 2 of them aren't even injured. Jeffrey Simmons, who one of the best defensive tackles in the league. The Packers have been matched up against great defensive tackles all 3 weeks in a row, and it will be the same case here in week 3 with Jeffrey Simmons. Veteran rest, so he's going to play. L'Jarius Sneed, their offseason signing from the Kansas City Chiefs, great cornerback, veteran rest. He'll be ready to go. Now, the only injured player on the Titans injury report is Tajay Spears with the ankle injury. He did not participate. So similarly to the other Packers that did not participate, tomorrow is a big telltale sign. If he did not participate tomorrow, I doubt he plays in this game. But the Titans still have Tony Pollard, who's a very, very capable running back. So I could see, that not really being much of a change-up. But Tajay Spears is also a very talented running back, and having a 2-headed monster, definitely does help an offense. But I have high hopes for the Packers in this game. Whether it's Malik Willis or Jordan Love, the Titans aren't a horrible team, but and their defense is way better than the Colts. I believe they have allowed the least passing yards, but if it's Malik Willis, the Packers aren't probably going to pass that much anyways. And if they can get the run game going again through Josh Jacobs, I have high hopes for them winning. But if it's Jordan Love, and they can have both, they could, pass the ball, get the ball out of Jordan Love's hands quick, kind of a similar game plan as they did last week. So Jordan Love isn't sitting around in the pocket too often, potentially getting hit around that knee. If he does end up playing, I'm sure Matt LaFleur will have a similar game plan, whether it's Malik Willis or Jordan Love in this game. He'll just have more flexibility and more leverage with Jordan Love being able to pass the ball on 3rd and long or 2nd and long and have more creative concepts and designs that Jordan Love is obviously used to running. But I do have high hopes. I have high hopes for Jordan Love playing in this game, and all of these linemen also playing in this game. I think that's going to be the case. I think Jaden Reed's also going to be fine. It's Wednesday, it's early. Like I said, tomorrow we'll get further more updates, and then Friday with all the game designations. So be on the lookout for those on this channel. Also, my game preview, I go live every Friday for about 30 to 45 minutes. So be on the lookout for that. And then again, I'm back live here on Sunday for the game against the Titans after missing last week. So I appreciate you guys coming by to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Pack Go.